This is a story about the dragons. Are dragons good or bad?
They made them so evil because the dragon was the one who didn't let humanity to destroy the nature. The dragon, he is the keeper. He's connected to nature. He's connected to balance. There is evidence all over the globe. There is evidence
That dragon
of
existed.
dragon existence.
There is a path to look forward to.
It's a big path. I believe like all life we live and we study and we learn on life. Once you stop learning, finish. It's just impossible in our world to become enlightened without pain and suffer. You cannot call the power if you're not ready for it. Hello everyone. I'm very happy to have today a very special podcast.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising for me because today I will not be the host.
Yeah.
Mr. Amine
Zillion. Yeah.
He is the one who proposed to create this kind of deep diving to the dragon understanding.
For me, it's a very, very interesting subject because you have done great work from an artistic standpoint, trying to kind of reconnect dragon back into Western modern culture.
Yeah.
And I would say dragons have been so linked to religious Eastern philosophy and things like that, that bringing it into modern secular kind of Western culture from an artistic standpoint, but also from a mythical standpoint is very interesting.
Yeah.
You're bringing to life this ancient character, and you're deploying it into something productive. So this is the idea of the podcast. I want to see and try to explore with you this very arcane and very, some people might call it mystical type of endeavor, and try to bring it to the forefront of productivity and see what we can come out with. This is a story about the dragons. And why should people care about these dragons?
Let me start from the beginning.
Starts from the beginning.
I will talk about myself.
Yes.
My path to dragon, right?
Yes.
I cannot talk about anyone else except only my personal experience.
Okay.
So when I was small, I remember I have seen this beautiful movie. Maybe you know. It's called NeverEnding Story. You've never seen this beautiful movie? It's very old. We are talking about the time when it didn't exist so much, a lot of this, special effect, etc. It was kind of the acting.
Okay.
There is one guy who is the main hero.
Mm-hmm.
So he got a beautiful book and he started to read about it. And for some reason, he get involved in the story. And there is a kind of realm which is called fantasy. And all kids and everyone who has the fantasy, who dream, they create, it's kind of like very deep. But for some reason, this fantasy land is getting to be died because nothing is going to just swallow it. And so this guy, he has to overcome all challenges, and it's very beautiful. It's highly advised to watch. And there is a dragon who helped him all the way. From the beginning till the end, there is one dragon. And I remember it so clear. Like for me, I don't know, this image of the dragon, I don't know how old I was exactly, but I felt something. I said like, wow, dragon so wise, so deep.
Yeah.
It's kind of hope, It was a symbol of hope because without dragon, this guy, he couldn't win.
In this context.
In this movie.
Yeah.
So then, of course, like a lot of years passed, and I was like somehow attached to them always. And my father, he was a very philosophical person, very deep and very spiritual. So we talk about everything what exists under the sun, a lot of things. And in 1 hour of conversation with him, I remember that we started to discuss like why dragon is so respected and appreciated in the East, and it's absolutely opposite image in the West.
This is my question. So
yes.
So are dragons good or bad?
You know, this is so philosophical.
Yes.
I believe they're different. I believe they're very different. But for us to be able to understand, again, I will talk personally, how I feel it and how I find out this deep connection to the higher consciousness through dragon, I believe that they are kind of guardians. They're kind of helpers and protectors.
Okay.
Because if you start to go like just, you know, any civilization, it doesn't matter, east, west, south or north, there is, each civilization has kind of touch of the dragon. And usually they are the one who, either they are creators or they are the one who is the keepers.
Okay.
Right? And then again, like if I'm coming back to my teenager time, then I started to think about it and talk like why the West made them so evil. Because usually what you know about the dragon, first they steal the girls, right? There is a knight who is fighting with them, killing dragon. So all of this made us to ask question why?
Why?
Why? There is no any kind of logical explanation that dragon did something wrong, so they deserve to be killed and hunted and followed every time.
Okay.
Only the story that they steal every time girls and the good guys want to protect them.
This is in the Western...
Yeah, but there is no any logical explanation. You know, it's kind of like just theory.
Okay.
And I start to dive deeper. I start to learn. And then I find out that even like in, I don't know, maybe 14th, 17th century, there is it's a documentary, there is a map, okay, that there is some certain lands that's called Land of the Dragon.
Ooh.
So if you talk about the maps which mention the dragon and dragon land, there are a few of them. Some of them created by the big names of cartographers. So they lived maybe 15 or 16 centuries. And the famous one is the Lenox Globe, which has a huge land and it's called Dragonland. There is few more, they are not so much famous. And there is few unfamous because you know, that time ChatGPT didn't exist.
No?
So when I started to research, I have to go either to library or to find some books, or I have to travel to some places, talk to the people. This is how I find out about this, and it's really fascinating.
Yeah. But what's fascinating about this stuff?
That there is evidence all over the globe, in all parts of the world. There is evidence
that dragon
of
existed.
Dragon existence.
Okay.
But in some culture, you know, they're still appreciated and they continuously exist. But in some countries, it's kind of hidden or deleted or erased, or I don't know. And then again, if you start to go to the east, there is Chinese zodiac, right?
Yeah.
There is all real animals.
Yeah.
And dragon is among of them.
Yeah.
So again, why?
I don't know, but I have a favorite joke that I say to the supermarket every time. I want the fruit that has the name of an animal that never existed. So the dragon fruit. Yay!
Yeah, but how you know it's never existed?
That's the thing. This is what I'm trying to find out with you.
This is the answer. You know, answers are everywhere. So all of these things, all of this contradiction, because whenever you want to find out why they're evil, there is no any kind of proof. And all of these things made me think and research more and more. Okay. Because if you talk about the dragon from the West, there is a dragon who is taking care about the treasure.
Yeah.
So there is like some precious stone, some treasure. But what if we try to explain it that the dragon was the guardian of the nature, of the resources of the nature? So the treasures that they're taking care of, they're trying to keep the balance. And the person is trying to kill the dragon to get access to this treasure, right?
So dragons are about balance?
Yes.
So they're a sign of balance?
Of course. Yes, they are. But we don't know why they made them so evil.
Who made them?
I don't know.
Someone.
Why?
Maybe because they were linked to foreign cultures, to the East.
No, but if you talk now about the Scotland and all this, you know, in the Scotland they do believe in unicorn till now.
Yeah.
The unicorn is official sign.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Same if you talk about the dragons, there is a lot of countries, like for example, Bhutan. It's officially, this is the land of the dragon, which
Correct.
existed from the ancient time, and they preserve it, this culture till now.
Yeah. So maybe the West has portrayed dragon as this nasty thing, or this thing that you should kill because it represented the East.
Or they made them so evil because the dragon was the one who didn't let humanity to destroy the nature.
Oh.
So in one of the reasons, the dragons stay and say, no, you're not allowed to, let's say, to kill all the forest and all the habitats of the forest. Or maybe you're not allowed to just, you know, to take all the fossil from this area or whatever. It can be all kind of nature sources.
So there was, at a certain point, a fight between dragons and humans.
Of course, but the humans attack and they are the one who wanted to destroy the balance. So the dragons was keeping the balance. It didn't attack. It was just kind of the protecting the balance. Humans usually, unfortunately, if they're not getting something, they're getting grief and like whatever I don't like, I can make it black.
Yeah.
Right? I can talk bad things about someone and I made them bad because this person is not the one. So in this scenario, this creature didn't come alone with the idea of the humans in this time.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly. We can only now suppose and we can think, you know, all of these things. I want you to think why a lot of fact in the history it's hidden or erased. Even these maps I started to talk about, they exist till now in the museum. But if you start to read about this map, there is kind of explanation, and part of it is just erased.
Explanation about what? Sorry.
Like how to say, if you get any map,
Yeah.
there is description, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. So there is part of it, it's just hidden.
Okay.
So why? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you had to put like dragons at the edge of every map, what you're trying to do is basically you're exploring the myth and the dragon itself, where you're exploring it and you're basically trying to bring the usefulness of the dragon back into a story that is alive today.
Yes. Yes. Because I felt inside myself, like my soul feel a very strong bond with them.
Okay.
And after research that I have been doing during childhood, then teenager, like it doesn't matter, you know? What I'm trying to say that all my life, somehow I was discovering something about dragon. And when it was one point when I consciously realized it, I say like, I have to do something. I want to do something with that.
Yeah.
Because the propaganda, like anti-dragon propaganda that exists for some reason, I'm not going to say that dragon is good or bad. I believe they're different. They might be different. I want to bring the idea that we have to research.
Yeah.
And if you ask me about the question that, of course, if you talk about the China, the dragon, he's the one who is the part of the nature. He's the one who is the king of the sea, of the river, of the water, of the rain. And only imperator and the people who close to him was able, you know, to wear something with the dragon print.
Yeah.
Like normal person, he was not allowed.
Dragon is a big deal, yeah.
Because it's kind of very royal and mystical, and it has a lot of. But why? Because it has a lot of wisdom, power, and strength.
Yeah.
And that's why, like Eastern philosophy, it's very understand. I mean, for me, it's very easy to understand it.
Yeah.
And it's useful. You can practice it every day.
Yeah.
Like some people, they ask me, like, Maria, what is your religion? How? I mean, like, I say, like, I'm not religious because I believe there is something that each person has to do during all life.
Yeah.
We're all here, you know. All of us, we are coming here for some mission, exactly. But to be able to discover the mission,
Yeah.
first you have to work out every day. It's a routine, it's a path.
Correct.
So for me, like dragon and Tao, you know, Taoism,
Yeah.
not this Tao, which is crypto Tao, another one, the real one. If you talk about that, it's beautiful and very easy understanding of the energy of the dragon.
Yeah. So this energy and this symbolism, historical symbolism that the dragon has. So you basically dived very deep into the symbolics and the mystical nature of the dragon as a keeper.
Yes.
As a guardian of something, as a guardian of a tradition, as a guardian of its own history and its own mythology, and all the human heritage that basically was attached to the dragon itself.
Yes.
And what you have done is basically, as I understand it, is basically first you worked on the character itself. So on trying to really kind of understand this beyond understand the dragon itself, beyond the artistic representation, but really kind of try to connect with it as a soulmate.
Yes,
right?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, and so for me that's understood, and I think that there is definitely a lot of things there. But now I want to check with you. And I want to move on to how did you express this? So you basically produced a series of art around the dragons themselves?
Yes. Once I was consciously realizing the importance of the dragon mythology, and as you said, the heritage. It's like the symbol and the power of the symbol is one of the ancient one. And then, you know, I was very sure that the dragon will be symbol of my project, because the dragon, he is the keeper. He is connected to nature. He is connected to balance. He is connected to the enlightenment. And the art, this is the best way to touch the hearts of the people.
Correct.
So for me, for my mission at the first level, it was to bring the awareness.
Yeah.
You know, to break the stereotype.
The awareness about what? About the power of the character of the dragon?
You know, it's all integral. It's like integral vision. I cannot say it was only, let's say that my idea was to bring this or that. It's kind of integral, which is like connected one to each other.
Yes.
Because first, you have to think and research. That not all information that we have been told, we have been educated.
Yeah.
Some of this information is absolutely fake.
Yeah.
Dragon is a beautiful example how they just substitute some ideas they didn't like and they bring us something that is not true and nobody ever knew about it, right?
Yeah.
Plus, to appreciate the nature and to make it really sustainable way.
Yeah.
Not the sustainability just to use it as a beautiful word, but the real meaning of it, the meaning of sustain.
Yeah.
Like, do you know? I'm sure you do, but do people know who do kind of sustainability business, what it means?
Yeah.
So the dragon is the beautiful example of the balance, of the appreciation.
And which is important to have these figurative characters, and especially when there is depth of symbolism. And then, so for me, the usefulness of the work that you have done is that you try to capture the spirit of the symbolism of this character, and basically post it as a driver of a self-improvement type of movement, where you place this symbolism that is not just a random sign or symbol of something. It's something that carries with it years and years of legacy, of mystical power, of persona, and that brings to the people, basically kind of manifests itself as a leader, as a strong lead for eventually a self-improvement program. People can look up to this type of character and can identify with it and can build something through this representation, basically. Yeah, am I understanding this correctly?
Yes. You say it very correctly. And like while I was listening to you, it's like for me, it was so obvious. You know, but some things which is obvious for me might not be so obvious for others.
Correct.
So I feel like my deep calling was telling me like, Maria, you know how to express the ancient wisdom. So you're kind of like, it's going some information to you and you feel that you want to share it with you and you want to inspire people's hearts to make them become conscious livers, not just living, but to live it conscious way. Because conscious living, it's not about that only, let's say, recycle the plastic.
No.
It's starting
It's
like
a holistic,
mind, body, you know, it's all connected.
Yeah.
So, and of course, if we speak like in a point that how dragon, you know, can give blessing, I felt it did already.
You?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
From the beginning, we created the collaboration with some artists from around the globe. And I pick each artist very personally.
Yeah.
And I talk to the artist. And I ask them which dragon, I propose the dragon that artist would agree or not. And then we go in details.
Yeah.
And it was not only about the nice, like, you know, visuals or just colorful signs. Like each detail has a meaning.
Yeah.
And when you look at that, you feel something. Even if you are very far from the art understanding, you can feel.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's about energy.
So if I can basically make things a little bit more accessible, would be that you have started exploring the figurative signs or the character itself of a dragon, and you found that there is a lot more than just a character, and that basically inspired you to say, well, why don't we create a modern day myth that will be useful? Because myths for humanity, for humans, help them structure self-improvement in general.
Yes.
If you dissect historically, what did myths do to different civilizations? They basically help them with their everyday life, because they would refer not their belief system, but rather their everyday practical functioning around this myth that will basically give them some type of wisdom, and they would feed back that myth with their daily lives, and it becomes like a loop of self. So if I can understand here, is basically you figured out what dragons are and what they can carry with them from an energetic perspective, etc. And you're like, okay, well, why don't we create a modern day myth to help people structure their self-improvement? And I think this is pretty unique because many self-improvement programs, for example, today, holistic self-improvement programs, their symbolic doesn't have the depth, is not nourishing for whatever they usually kind of think about that later on.
Yeah.
And basically you kind of flipped the model. The model was for you, basically, let me just jump in here, see what this character has to give. And you basically been told that through this character, through your research, through the manifestation of this character and dragons, etc., it told you, well, let's not stop here. Maybe there is a myth we can create. And maybe and that myth can have enough substance to help people with their everyday life, which makes the work that you have done in really doing the research and trying to come up with the symbol, etc., and creating this myth very useful for people's everyday life, basically, from a secular perspective. Because today, secular people don't really have mythical bases by which to function, right?
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of Asian knowledge, they're hidden or they're lost for some reason. What is the beautiful point you mentioned now, that myth, of course, it's important. But if we are not creating the myth, we are like recreating.
Well, that's the thing. That's the
It's like, it's already there. It's existed.
But that's the power of the dragon on you. Is that this is what I'm trying to tell you, is that the fact that you have done the work with the dragons gave you this feeling in kind of this subliminal mission that the myth should not stop.
Of course.
And should be so for most people, you're creating something new here.
Yeah.
But for you,
yes,
it's basically carrying over the message.
Yes.
Which makes what you're doing very authentic, because you strongly believe that there is a message here to carry forward through the symbolic, but also through other actions that you may be doing. So you don't see this, obviously, you don't see it as a new thing. But for someone that tunes in right now, this is a new. And for him, it's like, for most people, this is like old mythology coming back to 2025. How is this relevant today?
Yes, that's so true, because the most question I have been asked every time is like, why dragon? Why dragon?
Yeah.
Is it dragon? Why dragon? What is like, there are somehow people, they are getting so much surprised.
Yeah.
Looks like for them it's something very unknown.
And maybe it preps them to hear a fantastic story.
Yes.
Because most fantastic stories start with a dragon.
Yes, exactly. A lot of fairy tales.
Yes.
Either it's east or west or any part of the world.
Yeah.
It's really has a lot of dragon-like footprint. And if we started to talk about the philosophy of the life, like personally for me, it was some time. Then I was like very deep into yoga. I was teaching as a yoga teacher training. And I mean, I teach yoga. First I study, then I teach. And then I was reading a lot of Zen Buddhism books and things. And then it was one legend about the person who was dreaming all his life. He made a lot of meditation, sacrifice. I mean, like sacrifice, what I mean that he's every time was following some rituals, practiced to meet the real dragon. And then one day came, he wake up and he see a huge dragon sitting next to him. And he was so much afraid and threatened, and he was like shaking, and he was like, couldn't talk. He was like almost die. And dragon was like, I don't understand why all your life, every single day, you was calling me. I got so much irritated by you, then I decided to come so you can leave me alone. I'm here. What you want?
This must have been a Russian dragon.
And he was kind of, and this guy, he just died this moment.
Oh God! This is a legend.
This is the legend. It's not a legend. This is the story I read in Zen Buddhism. You know, Zen Buddhism. They always give you to realize something which is in front of you. But because we have somehow kind of blockage to see, we cannot see. And for us, it's become so much difficult. And then I read this book. I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. You know, because it was a very long time. And after some time, to be honest, like maybe a few years back, I understand the meaning. You cannot call the power if you're not ready for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And the Chinaman should be aware of what you're wishing for.
Exactly. You know, because this guy, even he was decent guy, he lived decent, his life path was so much decent, and he was very loyal to the dragon. But he didn't have idea, you know, by doing some rituals, he lost the main idea why he want to see the dragon. So in our life, I see this kind of story
every day.
It's every day with almost everyone. Because we are going to work. We forget why we go to work.
You know, today I had received a call from a friend that is he's a billionaire, and he tells me, look, this is not why I made money. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is a real story. Today he calls me, he's like, look, today, this is not what I imagined being rich looking like. And he decided to sell everything he has. He was like, I was happier when I was living on $3,000 a month.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't want to be dealing with 150 properties in Dubai. I don't want to be dealing with 10 lawsuits from people that I don't even know.
Yes.
I don't want to be doing this. And it's really funny. And I told him, yeah, you should probably come back to basics, which is completely dematerialize your life and just be the guy that you were before.
Yeah.
And he's selling everything and coming back to his, old life somehow.
But he is lucky.
He can.
It's not so late. So for some reason he wake up.
Yeah, he woke up in the process.
I talk to some people here, like in Dubai. Dubai attract a lot of great people. But these great people, they put so much energy of their life that one day, some of them, they start to think like, oh my God, I'm traveling this Sheikh Zayed every day. I even didn't notice how they build these new buildings.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like, you're not living your life.
No.
You're like a robot sitting in the car, going to the meeting, working, stress, whatever, traffic, 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years past, and then what?
Yeah. So the big question comes is, how do we achieve a purpose? So this is one of the main issues today with our society is what are the tools? Who can help me kind of find a purpose in life? And this is a big question. I mean, we don't have the answer.
Big question, yes, very philosophical.
No one has the answer here.
Nobody has answer for this from one side. From one side, no one has answer, but
Correct.
From another side, from the positive side, you have to start do something every day. Like whatever, it doesn't matter who you are, who is me, who is whoever is here or there. It doesn't all matter what kind of fruits we have. But if the person feel awakened one day and he start to be, first of all, it's kind of, you have to become true to yourself. You should stop lie. You should put illusion away. And this is the hardest part.
This is impossible.
This is hardest part, but it's possible.
How?
First, we cannot talk about all people because everybody is different.
No, but in general, I mean.
But in general, I don't know, you ask, everyone can ask themselves, like, if they're happy, if they're there where they want to be.
For me, a life hack to strip away illusion is to always check in with someone that I know for a very long time.
But how another person can know better about you? Only you're the one who can
so just the conversation, just the fact that I've anchored that person in a timeline that is much older, just the fact that I'm speaking to someone that I know knows me before illusion starts, helps me direct myself towards the right path. He's not going to help me do it. And I want to make the analogy with the dragon. So the dragon could be, I can see it as a companion in finding a path towards disillusion.
Of course, yes.
And when you find a companion, your companion should be something or someone that can give you something, or that you believe can give you something, or carries with it some type of ancient wisdom. There is a path to look forward to, like an anchor.
Yes, I can see it as an anchor from one side, but from another side, if you're talking about support from the supreme powers, right? Like if you're talking about the creator, right? Who can help you? Only creator can help.
Yeah, correct.
There is only one pure source of energy, the pure one.
Yeah.
It's up. If someone feel that he is ready to change something in his life, of course, it's a big path. You know, this path, I believe, like all life we live and we study and we learn on life. Once you stop learning, finish.
Yeah.
Either you are dead or you are about to die.
Yeah.
So the dragon can be associated like for me, this is like a path itself, you know? If you say like, if you talk about the dragon egg,
Yeah.
can be like the very beginning of the, let's say, child, yeah, who is not even born, but it's already exists. So we have the power here, but it's hidden.
Yeah.
He is authentic already.
Yeah.
But once the hatching started, he is coming to the
Revealing
world
himself.
of the illusions. So he is blessed from the supreme powers already.
Yeah.
But once he is outside of the egg, you know, egg is like a protection, and it's very ancient symbol as well. And I put it here today, especially just to give like as example. So if you talk about anyone, like all of us, we are kind of still inside the egg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are there, we exist, we live. But to be able to hatch and step out and to become a dragon, it can took forever.
Yeah. It's a path. You want to express a path.
It's
Yeah.
a path.
Yeah, yeah. So that's exactly.
All your life is a path.
Yeah.
And it's impossible. It's just impossible in our world where we live here in this territory to become enlightened without pain and suffer. It cannot be. But why it's pain? Pain is born when there is illusion. But when the person who is like, let's say, praying to be enlightened and to be strong and to become spiritual, but how you get strong? By training,
Yeah.
right? If you go any sport, if you start to do any sport,
Yeah.
in the beginning you feel always pain in your muscle, you feel lazy sometimes, and once someone quit and someone never quit. So there is two different paths,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Right? It's like warrior path. Whatever pain is happening, it's happening. He continues.
Yeah.
So this is the dragon hatching. And he continue his path. And on the way, he will meet a lot of challenges, a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, but something inside, his divine energy will guide him. He will continue. Even he fall down, even he get again stressed, depressed, it doesn't matter, but he continue, he never stop. And one day, through all his struggles, he become a dragon. This is how we come back to ourselves. You know, this is the cycle, the karma, the samsara. We didn't finish this in one life. We come back to the same point to learn it again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
And it's like never-ending story.
Yeah.
Like this movie, you know?
So it's a never-ending story movie, but also it's basically a path of self-improvement.
Yes, exactly.
In today's world, in today's secular world, that's a path of self-improvement.
Yes.
Symbolized by a dragon as an end result and as a carrier of wisdom and as a guardian.
Yeah.
And starting with an egg that hatches and that tries to maximize its probabilities of becoming that intended dragon. And I think the symbolism of this, it could be very useful for everyone's self-improvement path, because this, look, powerful ideas come from their clarity. So if you have clarity every day around what you're trying to achieve, and it's symbolized by a dragon egg that is in a hatching process, that will reach at a certain point the dragon form. And that dragon evolves. You basically just created to yourself a mirror of a path that allows you today to basically engage in self-improvement that is measurable and that is, to a certain extent, guide agnostic.
Yeah.
So because people are sick of self-improvement programs which have a predetermined guide.
Yeah.
So because guidance here is important. People say, I'm on a self-improvement path. That's great. So if you visualize yourself and you manifest yourself as basically this hatching dragon egg. I'll give you a simple example. I see it. So let's say I want to change my routine, right? and I engage with myself that, okay, I'm gonna take a vow that I will do certain things during the day, and I'll maintain that for enough time that allows a habit to become a habit, which is what scientifically is what, 40 days
21.
or 21 days?
Somebody say 21.
Yeah. So
I don't believe it.
yeah, so
It's
basically,
not 21.
I think it depends on you, on with whom. So if you do something, let's say for every week.
You say most important, if you do something, not
Yeah.
talk, not think,
No, do.
not want.
This is about doing.
You are talking about doing an action every
Yeah.
day, every other day.
Yeah.
But this has become the routine
Yeah.
of your self-awareness, self-development, self-enlightenment, it's self.
Yeah.
You know, whatever self.
Again, but symbolism, I think, is very important because that's what creates clarity in our thought. You see, right now with AI, people are understanding that inference time is the most important asset we have, which is the time it takes us to establish something or to come to an answer. That's what makes AI superior in many ways to a lot of things, is the inference time. How long would it take for an AI to take a decision or to give an answer or to uncover a path, etc. And when you have a clarity of thoughts with symbolism that comes with ancient wisdom, you basically create for yourself an environment that not only you will put the symbols forward in order for you to create a new daily routine or new improvement, but you're putting forward something that may carry something special at the end and that you may get attached to from a symbolic standpoint.
Yes.
You know, human beings are always attached to objects, to things, to symbols, to characters, etc. And I think what you have uncovered here is the underemployment or under deployment of the dragon itself, of the dragon story.